When you all hear how this ministry got started, you're not going to even believe it. It is like of biblical proportions, the miracles that God has done. The founder of Manos por Dios is a homeless, jobless Jewish carpenter. How many major nonprofits that are like a first responder to disaster relief are started by a homeless person who has nothing? This kind of is sort of like a multifaceted sort of ministry where they meet all the needs of the community. Where Michael Perone goes, he basically is led by the Spirit to do like whatever is needed to be done, whether it's feeding the people there, whether it's
fixing a car, fixing a home.
There's so many different things they do. Hands for God is a true first responder. He was there in Florida during Hurricane Michael helping clear the roads. This ministry is set apart by, a few key distinctions, and one of them is just his backstory. So Michael Perone lived a lot of life in addiction. He was in and out of jail and was homeless for probably close to 10 years. When God got a hold of his heart, he completely turned him around and delivered him from addiction, has actually started this ministry while being homeless. And he was living pretty much out of his van in Virginia Beach when God called him back in 2017, right after Hurricane Maria. He went and answered the call, and God ended up using him tremendously to help tons of people. And when he went there, he didn't have anything. He didn't know where he was going to go. He ended up going over there, and God led him. People would be praying and asking for God to help them, and then Michael Perone would show up at their door.
I was praying. I've been praying since I got off work. I was praying all night.
The statistics are astounding. In 28 days, he fixed 10 roofs. He fixed 8 cars, which were like pulled over on the side of the road. He fed over 100 people, and he saved 1 drowning man. Part of his testimony was, I am homeless, and look at all the people I'm helping. If I can do it, what do you think you could do? How do you think God could use you? This should be heard across the world, that God could use someone who's a former addict to do something like this. The amount of impact that we've had in the United States and in Puerto Rico with just the small amount of volunteers, the small amount of money that we have, it's incredible. Manos por Dios, Hands for God, a nonprofit 501c3 dedicated to disaster relief, being first responders to areas that just went through a storm, rebuilding not just homes but helping to rebuild lives. We're going to go there, and we're going to do this for nothing, and all we want you to know is that it's Jesus' love that did this for you. Michael Perone, the homeless, jobless Jewish carpenter, is a symbol of what one person can do when they just take that action, take that first step. And he was obedient and went to Puerto Rico when he had nothing. So take a first step now and look at how you can help, and just take some action from what you've heard here, and just be obedient to what God has put on your heart.